Hello, it's Walter from Champions Way. Today I'm going to show you how to change out your program button images. Now, two things here though. On some of your websites, you won't be able to do it depending on how the button was built. So for instance, these program buttons do not have any text over top of it or layered on it. It's just an image. So these you can change out. But for instance, if you have a website that looks something like this, we no, if we have so if you have a website like this, you won't be able to change out the buttons because these have text over top of them. So as you can see, the image is there, then it's got a background as well, and it's got tigers used over top of that image. So if you are to change this image, you would have to basically create a new image with the text that you want over top of it and with the get started below. So something like this is not that easy to do. You have to create the image first, which is the hard part. Excuse me. Changing the image out is no problem. It's just a matter of basically creating that image. So for something like this, if you wanted to change your buttons out, I would suggest that you change all four of them so they all look the same. That way, if you come up with a new design, they all will match. But if you have one of these particular buttons with no text over top, these are very easy to change. First thing you want to do is you've got to find out what size this image is. And very easy to do. All you got to do is right click on the image and go to view image info. This will tell you the dimensions right here. The dimensions are 240 by 160, but remember it's scaled to 218 by 145. This is the actual true dimension of the image. So when you create an image, make sure that it's 218 by 145. There's a few ways on resizing an image. For instance, I have an image here, and I'm using Microsoft Office Picture Manager. It's a default program that comes with Windows, and it's probably one of the better picture resizers that you can use. So for instance, if you go to Picture and click on Resize, it will now show you the actual original image size, which is 619 by 434. Now, as you can see in the custom height, you can change this to predefined widths and heights. And you can try to basically get as close as you can with that image. That's 314 by 220. But that's not going to work because my image was, as you remember, was 218 by 145. So that is actually quite a ways off. So I'm going to have to go with custom. And I'm going to have to try to put my measurements in. So let's go 218 and 145. But of course, it could distort the image. So what's going to happen is down below here, the new size, it's going to tell you what the new size is without actually disproportioning up the image. But now we got 207 by 145. So that tells me that's not going to work because now it's the width is not enough. It's only 207. So by looking at that, I'm going to figure, okay, you know what? The width is 207, but the height, 145, is actually working okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to up the width of my image here to, let's say, 230 and see what happens then. So if I change my width out to that, it's not going to allow me to do that. So let's try the 230 and let's go to 145 and let's see what that gives me. It still gives me the 207, so I've got to go way up for this then. That's what it's wanting me to do. So let's go with something like predefined widths and heights, and let me have a look and see what I got here. So I got 314 by 235. Okay, that's still ways off, but let me try to do something here. I'm going to have to crop my image to get it to size properly. All right, so I'm going to just resize it, and okay. And now I'm going to go ahead and resize this again, and I'm going to go to 218 and 145. And now it's giving me a 188, which is off the wrong way. But you know what? That's going to be okay, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to just crop my image down this way, because it's not working out the way I want it to work. So I got to resize that. Now it should work okay. So now if I'm going to go to resize, I'm going to, and unfortunately for something like this, it's really hard to actually make it fit unless you've got something like Photoshop. So here I've got 215 by 145. That's pretty close. I'm going to click OK. Now I'm going to go ahead and click crop, and I'm going to go with this image then. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to go File, Save As, and I'm going to save my image. And kickboxing, and I'm going to do -1 so I don't mess up the original. And I'm going to save that image out. Okay, so now I've got that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going back to my web page. And I'm going to click on, I got to log in first, of course. All right, so I'm logging in. Now I'm going to my home page, and the first thing I got to do is I have to import this image into my image manager. So I'm going to go ahead, import my image, and I'm going to upload. And my image was Kickboxing 1, if you remember. So Kickboxing -1. And there it is there. So I'm going to click on that. I'm going to go ahead and open. And I'm going to upload my image. So now you can see the image will load on my left-hand side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to right-click on this, and I'm going to copy image location. So this is going to basically give me the path of where this image is now located in my actual database. So I'm going to close that out. I'm going to scroll down, or actually, let's do it an easier way. Let me click on the image. Now I'm going to go to my image manager, and I'm going to insert that image right on top of that. So I'm going to click on it, and then I'm going to go ahead and insert. And there's a new image. And that's all you got to do. The hardest part is resizing that image. But if you have Photoshop or a better image editor, you can actually proportionally change the widths and heights to match, and it will change exactly to the size that you want. So it's just a matter of playing around with the sizing, but once you get the sizing down, you can change out those images as easy as that. So all I do, if I want to change out my adult picture now, I do the same thing. I click on the image, make sure that it's selected, and now I go back to my image editor. And now I'm going to just click on the image I want, and I'm just going to use the same one for intents and purposes. And I'm going to go ahead and insert. And there it is. There's the other image. So that's how easy that is to basically change out your program images. As long as it's an image that does not have any writing over top of it, such as these ones, then you're talking designing a whole new button. I hope this helped you guys out, and as always, any questions, just call our support line. Thank you.